Picture yourself settled in your favorite armchair, maybe with a warm cup of tea, gazing out at a world that's shifted so much since your younger days. The kids are grown, the house feels a little too quiet, and you can't help but wonder what lies ahead. I know that ache, the one that makes you think about who'll be there when the days grow long, who you can count on. For so many of us, our children come to mind first. They're our pride, our heart, the ones we raised with every ounce of love we had. But today I want to share something vital, something that might weigh heavy but needs to be heard. Don't rely on kids. Not because they don't care, but because your peace, your strength, and your independence in these precious years depend on you carving your own way. Welcome to Intergenerational Connection, where we tell stories that touch the soul and share wisdom that lights the path. I'm here to walk you through 5 steps to avoid leaning on your children as you age, steps rooted in real lives, real struggles, and real hope. So, let's sit together like old friends and talk about how to live these years with dignity and freedom, starting with the truth that don't rely on kids is your key to a life well lived. Think about all you've built over the years. Maybe it's a cozy home, a savings account you've carefully grown, or a little stash for tough times. It's only natural to want to share that with your kids, to give them a leg up. I've known folks, loving, big-hearted parents who've handed over their life savings, signed over their house, believing it's a way to show love and secure their future. They think, my kids will always have my back. But life doesn't always play out like that. And that's where don't rely on kids comes in. Let me tell you about Helen, a woman I met at a church supper. She was in her late 60s, with a warm smile but eyes that carried a quiet sorrow. Years ago, she gave her daughter most of her savings to buy a house, trusting she'd be cared for in return. But life got messy. Her daughter's marriage fell apart, the house was sold, and the money vanished. Helen was left scraping by, renting a tiny room, feeling like a stranger every time she asked her daughter for help. Over coffee, she whispered, "I thought giving her everything would keep us close. Now, I feel like I've lost my footing." That's the first step. Protect what's yours. Don't rely on kids means keeping your financial independence, so you're never left feeling like you're asking for scraps. Don't hand over your savings or sign away your home while you're still here. Instead, visit a lawyer and set up a will or trust. A will lets you decide who gets what after you're gone, but keeps you in control now. It's not about doubting your kids. It's about loving yourself enough to stay secure. It's saying, I cherish you, but I need to take care of me too. That's the power of don't rely on kids. It's your shield, your safety net. Now, some of you might be thinking, but my kids want me to move in with them. They've got a spare room and they're begging me to join the family. That leads us to the second step. Choose your own home, not theirs. Don't rely on kids means keeping your own space, even if living with them sounds like a dream. Sunday dinners, grandkids running around, everyone together. The truth? It's often more complicated than the Hallmark movies make it seem. I knew a man named Tom, a retired school teacher with a quick laugh. After his wife passed, he moved in with his son's family. At first, it was wonderful. Game nights, backyard barbecues, but soon, Tom felt like he was walking on eggshells. His son and daughter-in-law had their own rules: when to eat, how loud the radio could be. Little disagreements turned into big ones, and Tom felt like an outsider in their home. He told me, "I didn't realize how much I'd miss just being me." Eventually, he found a small apartment in a senior community nearby. It wasn't big, but it was his. He said, "I've got my life back, and I'm happier visiting my grandkids than living in their world." Living with your kids might feel like staying close, but it can make you feel more like a guest than a parent. Don't rely on kids. Means choosing independence, a place of your own, maybe a senior village, or even a shared home with friends. Visit your family, spoil the grandkids, but keep your own corner of the world. That way, you're not just grandma in their house, you're you, with your own rhythm, your own life. That's the freedom don't rely on kids brings. Let's talk about something that tugs at the heart, the instinct to keep giving, even when it costs you dearly. That's the third step. Stop wearing yourself out for your kids. Don't rely on kids also means not letting them rely on you until you're spent. I've seen folks in their 60s and beyond still working themselves ragged, babysitting every day, paying for college tuition, or picking up odd jobs to cover someone's rent. It's love, pure and simple. But love shouldn't mean breaking your body or your spirit. There was a woman named Dorothy, a widow who'd been a nurse. After retiring, her son leaned on her to watch his kids full time so he and his wife could work. Dorothy adored her grandkids, so she said yes, even though it meant long days, sore knees, and missing her own checkups. By the end of a year, she was exhausted, her arthritis was worse, and she'd had a scare with her heart. She told me, "I wanted to be there for them, but I forgot about being there for me." Finally, she sat her son down and set limits. 2 days a week, not 5. She started swimming at the Y, got her health back on track. "I'm still their grandma," she said, "but I'm not their servant." Your kids might not see how much you're giving up when you push yourself too hard. And if you collapse, you're the one who pays the price, and they might carry the guilt. Don't rely on kids means setting boundaries. Say, "I love you, but I can't do this every day." Put your health first. Walk in the park, eat your greens, get your rest. Your body's carried you this far. Treat it kindly for the road ahead. That's how Don't Rely on Kids keeps you strong. Now let's get to something that's tough, but so important, the power of money. The fourth step is hold on to your financial freedom. Don't rely on kids means having enough in your pocket to live with dignity, to make your own choices. Money isn't just about bills, it's about the freedom to hire a caregiver, a handyman, or a ride to the store without asking your kids to step in. It's about being respected, not overlooked. I heard about a man named Frank who had 5 kids in a big, bustling family. He'd always been generous, splitting his savings among them for weddings, houses, you name it. But as he got older, he noticed something. The kids who got the most were the ones who visited the least. When he needed help, like fixing a leaky roof or getting to the doctor, they were too busy. His youngest, who never asked for anything, was the one who showed up with a ladder or a ride. Frank learned the hard way. Money can change how people see you. When he stopped giving it away and built up his savings, he felt secure, and his kids started treating him with more care. Having money doesn't make you greedy, it makes you free. It means you can say, "I've got this," instead of hoping someone else will. Don't rely on kids means building a safety net, savings, a pension, maybe some investments. Sit down with a financial planner, make a budget, keep your assets safe. When you're secure, you're not just protecting yourself, you're giving your family the gift of not having to carry you. That's the strength of Don't Rely on Kids. Finally, let's end with a story that'll stay with you. A story about love, regret, and what matters most. This is the 5th step. Live for you, but keep your family in your heart. Don't Rely on Kids isn't about closing the door on them. It's about loving them wisely while loving yourself and teaching them to cherish you while you're here. There was a mother named Ruth who raised her son, Michael, on her own. Ruth worked long hours as a seamstress, saved every penny, and made sure Michael had a good school, a warm home, a chance to chase his dreams. But as Michael grew, he drifted, moved to the city, got caught up in work, called less and less. Ruth never let it show, but it broke her heart. Still, she kept living. She joined a quilting group, tended her roses, and kept a small cedar box where she stored treasures, Michael's childhood drawings, a watch from her father, a photo of them at the county fair. When Ruth fell ill, Michael came home. He sat by her side, but Ruth didn't need him to be her nurse. She'd planned ahead, had savings, a caregiver, a will. In her final days, she handed Michael that cedar box. After she passed, he opened it and found a note. "My sweet boy, I never needed you to take care of me. I needed you to live well, to be kind, to remember me. These are yours to carry on." Michael wept, seeing all the love his mom had poured into him, even when he'd been too busy to notice. He kept that box on his desk, a reminder to live better, to honor Ruth by building a life of love. He wished he'd called more, listened more, but he vowed to make her proud. That's the heart of it, my friends. Don't Rely on Kids isn't about pushing them away. It's about living so fully, so wisely, that your love for them shines without tying you down. Protect your money so you're never at anyone's mercy. Keep your own home so you're free to be you. Stop overworking so your body stays strong. Hold on to your financial freedom so you're respected and in charge. And above all, love your kids fiercely, but love yourself too. Your children are your legacy, but your life is yours. Make it count. Show them how to treasure you now, because time slips away fast. I know it's not always easy. There'll be days when you feel alone, when you wonder if you're doing right. But you are. You're building a life that says, I'm here, I'm whole, and I'm enough. That's the promise of Don't Rely on Kids. Thank you for sitting with me, for letting these stories sink in. If they've touched you, please hit that like button, subscribe to Intergenerational Connection, and share this with someone you care about. Let's keep these stories alive, keep this wisdom growing. May God bless you, hold you close, and guide your way. Until next time, take care. You're worth it.